It's a twisted 5th anniversary celebration for Marvel Strike Force because instead of rewarding players who've played their game for all these many years, Scopely decided to reward themselves and included more spending cash grab events so they could give themselves their anniversary gifts. And in this video, we're discussing whether or not the milestones for an entire month of March are skippable. We also have a bunch of your mailbag questions to answer because it is Monday, and if you're ready for all of that, you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Valley Maniacs. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I'm ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you had a great weekend. Welcome. We're discussing all about Marvel Strike Force in this video and the events that we have going on right now in March. Now, if you are into Marvel Strike Force and want more videos to help your Marvel Strike Force experience, hit that subscribe button because there's at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel during a normal week. During spring break next week, it might be a little different, but normally at least 5 videos per week on this channel with all the latest tips, tricks, news, and everything to help your Marvel Strike Force experience. Now, this video will be a little negative, but the devs have also said that sometimes they make these mistakes and they want the community to let them know that they've made a mistake, that they've steered this game in the wrong direction, and that's kind of what we're doing in this video. But normally, we're a little more positive on the channel. But let's talk about these events for March because I don't think they're a good precedent for what is going on in Marvel Strike Force. Now, this is the 5th anniversary celebration to celebrate the 5 years of Marvel Strike Force, and we have these memory lane milestones for this month-long milestone event that has going on. And we have some older character shards: Kestrel, Deathpool, Spider-Weaver. They're introductory characters. We have some other things here. We have some dark promo credits. We have some good things in this, but nothing that I would see worth grinding extra time for. Not like a new character release, not like some of these other month-long milestone events with some other rewards tied to a team or something like that. So in my opinion, these aren't really worth pushing for. Now, I wouldn't totally skip them. I would still do your normal activity, get the monthly meta items, but I wouldn't for these monthly events, I wouldn't be going all the way down to the end, because if we look at this, if you skip this, it won't be good. It will set your town back a little bit because it's going to take a while to grind all this stuff. It won't be the end of the world, not like missing a character release or something like that. So that is the month-long event. Let's talk about the first event that went live, the Return to the Shadows event. And this is through battling through campaigns and using the energy for that Psylocke event, which, again, as a longtime player, just does not feel good. I'm glad they're bringing this back for newer players that don't have Psylocke in their roster yet. She is a horseman. She's required for Apocalypse. But with this is not a good event. I don't want to have to spend my precious cores for an event that gives me nothing of value. The Psylocke orbs give me nothing of value. Same thing with longer time players. Those Psylocke orbs, anything that you're really getting from this Move into Shadows event is pretty grindy. So in my opinion, this is just a way for the devs to say, spend more money to award us some gifts, because it is our 5th anniversary. It's not your 5th anniversary, players. It's our 5th anniversary. Spend more money. That's why I see this. You're also spending campaign energy, opening your gold orbs, which I guess are fine. And it really makes me question these limits, these account limits. I thought what they said when they announced this is to make these events simpler, easier for you to calculate. And what I thought would happen with these event limits is that the devs would start to eliminate hoarding, because with these limits, they can start to limit the hoarding. They can start to limit the stupid things that we do, like spending cores, power cores on an old event. But instead, they choose not to. And if the calculations I got from Dorky Dad were correct, 50 energy refreshes on this event, 50 core energy refreshes, and that is if the event started on time. This move-in energy event started a day late, so it may be even more than that if you want to complete this event. But the good thing about this event, and I guess it's not a total good thing if you really want to play this game and enjoy it, some good things down here at the bottom, but there's a big gap between milestone 27 and milestone 28. So I think most players are going to get this stuff, which is fine, but it's not worth really pushing for. And I don't think the rest of this stuff, while it's good, is worth spending some energy, some power cores and energy you don't need. Opening more gold orbs, or the campaign energy is fine, but and the gold orbs is fine, but just it's the rogue energy that's really bad. This charging station, a little different. This is another event uncompletable by players. So happy 5th anniversary players. But this is another trash event. To get all of these, you need to earn power cores. 1 power core is 1 point. So that means during the life of this event, you would need to earn over 3,000 power cores, which is not possible unless you're buying power cores on a daily basis or buying a lot of power cores. Even if you're doing a high rank in arena, I don't think it's possible to get all of these milestones. Maybe it is, but I think a lot of people are hoarding. You did hoard for this event. So another trashy event, not a fun event. Hoarding, not spending my resources, not being able to spend my gold, not being able to open my mail is not fun, Scopely. So redesign these events. Put fun at the forefront of these events and not just spending time in game, grinding in game, spending resources, buying things. Let's have fun in Marvel Strike Force again. All right, now we got the current event that's going on right now, and this one is really, really trashy. The limit on this one is over 1 million points. Then this is another alliance-wide event, which I know a lot of the community wanted to eliminate because sometimes if you're in a competitive alliance, I think these events are fine, but some alliances are not full, or some alliances are pretty competitive, but then they have a couple players that don't really play a lot. And then there's very casual alliances as well. This is a horrible event for those alliances, earning Crucible credits. New players aren't even able to enter Crucible. So for a new player, this is not great for older players. This is not great for newer players. This is just bad event design. And I would say this entire month of March is a bad event. Now this limits for Crucible credits. I did not do the calculations on this because I think it's a trashy event, but Dorky Dad did the calculations. He said, if all your members of your alliance, all 24 members of your alliance are in Grandmaster, and they all go 3-0 for the entire Crucible trial for this event, that is how you could get all these. Well, that is not how these limits were supposed to work. That's not how it's supposed to be sold to us. That's not how it was sold to us as it was introduced. It was supposed to make these events simpler. It was supposed to limit hoarding. It was supposed to limit trashiness and extreme grinding for these events. But that's not what it's doing. And again, this is the event that in order to do this event and score points on this, you need to use Moonstone, who has not been available for free-to-play players. The only thing available for her is an offer, which is a pretty trashy way to run a 5th anniversary, in my opinion. Again, a lot of this stuff is not super necessary. I think if you're really pushing for that month-long milestone, just get to this challenge X-Ray. And I don't know if it's gonna be worth grinding for all this other stuff. If your alliance is gonna do all that stuff anyway, and is doing all this stuff for Crucible, maybe we're gonna purchase Moonstone anyway, and I guess it's fine, but it's not worth pushing for more of this stuff, spending power cores that you wouldn't normally spend, using characters that you normally wouldn't spend, or earning more credits in Crucible that you normally wouldn't do. So all these events, in my opinion, are not great, especially because we cannot complete all of these events unless we do some kind of irregular activity or spend a lot of money. So Scopely, I hope you change your ways. I hope for the 6th anniversary, if this game lasts that long, will be a more fun event based around fun and players having fun in the game, and not just logging in, doing some mindless blitzing, not logging in and compelling the rest of our alliance to spend on this game so that we could get points. Make these events fun again. I know you're capable of that because I do have fun at times in Marvel Strike Force, but it seems to get more far and far between with all these events. Let's go to your questions though, because there are some things going on in Marvel Strike Force that is not all bad. We have Apocalypse to look forward to. Let's check out the questions in the mailbag because it is Monday, and thank you for everyone that left your question in this mailbag section of the Discord. And if you want to get a question featured in this mailbag video that we do every single week, make sure you are on the Discord. The link is down below. But first question of the week, Valley, thanks for all you do. Last week, I had a real life hit and missed a day of playing by a few hours. Now I'm being punished for 7 days with having to do raids without sim and having to do all the daily events. Can you tell Scopely in one of your meetings that the punishment does not fit the crime? Thank you. So I don't know if you guys were playing when this was introduced. I'm assuming there's some newer players that are watching this, but back in the day, we didn't have a lot to do. We had arena and blitz and raids, and that was it. Then the game got a little more grindy. We had more game modes. We had war added, Crucible added, and then like this is way too much time spent in the game. So they added this feature here to this sim feature. that we could be simming the raids. We could do some of our activities. We don't have to do arena battles. We don't have to do those hero campaigns, the villain campaigns, the early ones that really did nothing for players. So they added this in so that we would have less low quality time in the game. And then some real life hits sometimes, and it sucks. Now I know this isn't supposed to be a punishment. You know, they want you to log in every day, but it's not supposed to be a punishment if you don't log in. It's more of a reward if you do. But again, the intent of this was to lower the low quality screen time, and it is kind of a big punishment if you miss a day. I know I'm traveling this summer to Europe, and if I'm on the plane that whole time and I can't log in, well, I'm gonna get screwed as well. So hopefully they do something to solve this, but it's not a good thing right now. Hopefully they add that in a lot, or they give more of these tokens. I know whenever they do updates, sometimes they put in these tokens. If they would add more of these in just at different points in the game, maybe they add these into some milestones, that would be great. I would like these, you know, just to give us some time to do that. Or if they, I was going to say, so maybe if we bought these for power cores or something, some kind of in-game resource, that would be great as well. But I think they should make this a little more accessible. And if you do miss a day because real life happens, you shouldn't be, you know, having to do all that crappy low quality screen time, because this was initially introduced to reduce the low quality screen time. All right, these are the concerns I sent to customer service. They are, of course, never responded to, but last time I made suggestions to sim dailies, I got an email 2 months later saying they loved it and they added it. Oh, well, it is because of you, Dante Sparta, so thank you for adding that. Yes, I'm glad that they loved your suggestion. So here it is, hoping that they add these ideas too. Another thing I wanted to mention is that I don't blame the devs forced to build crappy events. I blame them for messing up what they create and hurt the players with their bugs and coding practices. I think we could talk to them about both. I think both of the issues come from them not playing the game as much. If they play the game more and played it like normal players, not on dev accounts, not on test servers or anything like that, but if they play the game more and see what we have to do to complete these milestones and how fun some events are, how unfun certain events are, I think we would have better events. And I think the bugs, if they play the game more, they would notice these bugs. They would see these things would be happening to them. I think a lot of these issues would be solved if they play the game more. It just doesn't seem like they play the game, or maybe they have fun spending a lot in the game. Maybe they have unlimited resources that they could just spend. But there's a bunch of things that Scopely, I think, needs to do different, especially during the month of March, where, you know, one of the counterpoints a lot of these bad events was this is a break for us. But is this really what we want as players, to have a break during the anniversary event? Personally, I would like stuff. I want stuff for playing this game for so long and feel rewarded, feel valued as a player, and not all this stuff. But yes, I also blame Drew for hiding all those yummy Frosties. Oh my goodness, we got to get Drew back on the channel, have a word with him, because he should not be hiding those Frosties like that. That is just horrible. All right, ValleyFlyin, hello from Ohio. I wonder when the next gold spending event will be. I haven't spent any reasonable amount of gold since Rebirth, and sitting on like 35 million gold at the moment. Planning on spending materials on Gamma and other horsemen, maybe 2099. Let me know. Well, there is a message that we got in the blog post on Friday with an exact date. So March 8th. So in a couple days now, Commander's Cash event will reward resource shards, power up Heroes Guardians, Red Hulk, War Scourge event, along with a shot at a 7 red star Archangel. So to earn points is a 7-day milestone. You're gonna need to spend gold and power cores, then claim these rewards. So yeah, spending more resource, spend more gold, spend more power cores, and wish Scopely a happy anniversary. Hey Valley, hope you're doing well. What are your thoughts on Cosmic Crucible? I noticed that everyone waits until someone goes first. Not everyone. There are a large amount of players that do it, but not everyone. It allows them to know what score they have to beat. I was wondering, what if they hit the scores until the end of the round? This way it doesn't hurt no matter who goes first. It really makes you want to do your best in each match. I think that would be a solution to that, and maybe hiding the defensive scores and maybe seeing that after, because I know once that trial is complete, we're not able to go back and see what happened previously. So if I log in after all the rewards are paid out, and my opponent hasn't attacked me yet, I've done my attacks and then everything's done, I can't see what has happened, what my opponent did, what generated them scores. So I think there's a few shifts that need to be done with Cosmic Crucible. For me personally, I don't mind attacking first and letting my opponent know my score. It's not as efficient that way, but for me, I'm a little different because I stream my Crucible attacks on Twitch, and that's just when I have to attack. It is when we do this, but it does put the person that goes first at a disadvantage because you know what, the second person will know what score they have to beat. One way of doing this, like you said, is hiding the score you have to beat. The other thing is adding some replays. I think 2 of those combined will make Crucible a better experience. So not knowing what scores you are, but not knowing what scores your opponent has, you know your own score, but you're not going to know what your opponent has until it's done. And then you could go back and see what they did on offense to beat your defense, see what teams they messed up on and stuff like that. I think both of those in conjunction would be very, very good. I think it would help the Crucible experience. All right. Hey, Valley, hope all is going well. Do you think the devs will ever fix matchmaking? I don't know, man. With all the bugs they have going on in the game right now that they're trying to fix, I don't even know if they have time to fix something that should be as simple as match. Well, maybe it's not simple. I'm not a dev. Maybe it's very, very complicated and all the ELOs and everything are hard to match. Or maybe there's less and less players because of the crappy decisions that the devs have made over the past couple of years that just where there's not as many alliances and players to match up with. We're gold 4 alliance with 16 players below 5 million. Every war we come up with platinum alliances that are 90 million, 90%, 10 million up. Similarly in Crucible, in one of the next, I'm one of the few above 5 million in every Crucible round, match with players at least above 15 million. With Quickster build released through Crucible, it seems like something that should be addressed to make it as fair, and I'm sure I'm not the only player in this position. So I think what they did, because they couldn't fix matchmaking in war, it just made the rewards kind of even. So you win, you get a certain amount of rewards, you lose, you're not missing out on too much rewards. And I think that is why they made the rewards so even, because they couldn't fix the matchmaking. Now with Crucible, that should be tied to your score. So the more you win, the tougher matches you're gonna get. So in Crucible, maybe you're just too good at winning too much, and that's why you're facing such harder opponents. Or maybe in your league or at your power level or your rank level, maybe there's no one around that, so you're having to face players that are that high. So it could be that. I found the matchmaking is not that terrible in Crucible, but War, it's been crappy for a while, but I hope that it gets better. But maybe that you're winning. I do believe it's based on ELO, but I could be wrong on that. Greetings from a unusually rainy San Diego. With Scopely releasing some of their old event campaigns, what do you think of the odds of releasing some of their better campaigns like Kestrel or Deathpool? We've seen a lot of them through data mines and their announcements, and it doesn't look like they are coming back. Those would be a little too generous. I mean, those are supposed to be the month-long milestone reward, so that would be like Jane Foster being the reward and having a event for her while she's being the reward, or one of these other releases of this campaign. It's just they're not that generous. So yeah, it would be nice. It should be. We should be bringing those events back, because those are characters people can actually use. They're required for Apocalypse. Actually, good characters are still in the meta nowadays, but we're getting Minerva and Psylocke, so at least we get that. Hello, Valley. Returning player took a break from the game when Infinity Watch was released. I'm struggling to take which tunes I should be unlocking first. Thanks for the help. All right, so I'm not sure where you're at, so I'm not sure which would be the correct answer for you. But as far as game modes, go for Arena. So currently in the Arena meta, if you have access to characters like Red Hulk or Dormammu, if you have access to DD5, you could go use those characters. Eternals still work in the Arena meta. Newer characters like Kang, Archangel work as well. So if you have some of those characters, that will work in Arena. If not, you might be in a tough Arena situation, because while you left, all those players that are in your Arena shard probably were still playing. Maybe not all of them, but some of them were still playing, especially the higher ranks. And you don't move Arena shards. So you're probably in that Arena shard that you're in. You're facing some tougher players. So I would try to get some of these characters as soon as possible. So Dormammu is in the meta. I would try to get him. Doom. If you haven't done DD4 and DD5, I would do those. Some of the newer teams that were released since Infinity Watch, but you might be able to access. Obviously, go for some of your raid teams into Doom 3. If you have the Secret Avengers, they're the skill raid team right now with Kestrel, Shang-Chi. The Rebirth is the team I would start to build for Bio right now. There still is a little use for the Web Wars, for the Morgan Le Fay Scourge, but once you're done with that, there's really no reason to really build the Web Wars, but Rebirth is the way to go for that. Gamma also works as a backup option in Bio, but you're going to use them a little more in War. The Bionic Avengers is the best tech team. You have the Eternals, Dormammu, and some other combos in that mutant section, and then the Death Seed is the best, or in the Mystic section, and the Death Seed is best for mutant section. Now, the other thing I think is very important for newer players is finishing those campaigns. So whatever you are doing right now, try to finish those campaigns. It'll give you access to the gear that you need to farm and those character shards. So those are some of the things I would focus on as a newer or returning player. Get through the campaigns, build up a strong arena team, and make it so that you have options for the raids that you could complete that pretty easily every day. Then once you have those set, I would go and start to build my Crucible teams, because Crucible is a very important in game mode as far as resources and rewards, and then War as well. But build up those teams, and that should help you. Are you going to take Ant-Man and Wasp to Gear 15? No, especially not for the event. And if they had a rework announced and there were going to be a team that was required for something important in the game, then maybe, but not in the current landscape of the game right now without a rework or anything like that. All right, hey Valley. So my alliance wants to use MSF.gg to help coordinate our war defense. When we go to the website to set it up, there's no way for us to put our teams in war defense area. Do you know how this to fix this, or it will be fixed? It's actually not broken. It's actually working. Let's go to MSF.gg right now. Let me move this screen down a little bit. So where you need to go for the alliance and to do all that alliance coordination, you need to go to this alliance section right here. Now, if you're not in an alliance, and this is different than the alliance that you're in the game, because it doesn't automatically put you into the alliance you're in the game. You have to do it a little separate in MSF.gg. So my alliance didn't actually have my alliance in the game actually didn't have an alliance on MSF.gg. So I just went ahead and created one right now just for this. And once you create this, you can add all of your players. You would have to have all of your players go into the alliance and add their rosters or add their player IDs to this. And then you have a few tabs here. You have alliance, you have your maps for your raids, you have the teams that you want, your war layout. So you could choose how you want, what rooms you want everybody in. And last but not least is war defense. And this is where you would go to set up your war defense. And as you can see, I haven't updated this in a long time. I mean, back when I last updated this, we only had 8 war defense teams. Now we have 10. We have some really, really old teams here that are not many, but you would do this here. And then you would have all the information. When all your alliance mates do that, you would have access to that. So you would need to do this on MSF.gg. You would need to create an alliance on MSF.gg. All the players in your in-game alliance would need to join that. And then they would need to go to this tab here and set up all their war defense. And I think at that point, you should be good, my friend. So I hope that helps you and your alliance and anybody else looking to add your war defense and all that stuff to MSF.gg and get an accurate assessment of where you guys are in war. All right, hello from Brooklyn Valley. My Ant-Man and Wasp are level 65. Is it worth to build them up to 75 or 85 for the last 2 missions of the Tiny World event? Not in my opinion. I'll show you exactly what I did for that Tiny World event. Let's go in game right now. This back to the Tiny World. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I think a lot of these things in March are skippable. This is one of them here. This is what you would get. Is it worth? So if the answer is yes, putting that gear, putting that gold and training mats into your Ant-Man and Wasp, is this gear worth it for you? If the answer is yes, then do it. You're gonna get 15 of these teal raid orb fragments. You're getting some of these teal gear. You're getting some of these green ISO 8 crystals or crystals, whatever. And if you do the last one, you're gonna need to get Ant-Man and Wasp at level 7 and level 85, which is a lot of gold, a lot of training mats. You're gonna get some of this stuff, some teal gear, some green ISO 8, and some blue ISO 8. So for me, that's not worth it. I don't think that's worth it for a lot of players, but there may be some fringe cases that it is worth it for some players. And if it is, then that's the stuff you get. So that is it, guys. Scopely, fix your game. help bring back that fun. Bring us events that we can actually complete and have fun completing and not just spend to complete. I hope this helps the game and it's not just a ranting video that is just complaining. So I hope this does do some good, and I hope the executives at Scopely are listening and can help bring some fun back into Marvel Strike Force. But I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it's a little more negative than usual. But I hope you have a great day. Enjoy playing Marvel Strike Force. Grind as much as you want during these events. But if you are not able to grind, then the good thing is you're not missing out on too many rewards this month. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. If you haven't already checked me out on social media, check me out on social media. Hit that subscribe button if you want more Marvel Strike Force content, and check out some of the other videos as well to help you along your Marvel Strike Force journey. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump. ValleyFlyin out. I'll see you guys next time.